York Revival, I'm in the building.
Let's go.
Live with the Revival!
Let's go.
Let's go.
Y'all know what this is. Peace and blessings. It is your boy, Eli Rax, a.k.a. Vibes, and welcome to New York Revival, where it's not just sports, it's entertainment. And I'm here with my brothers, man. You guys know who they are, and that's Mr. Glass Half Full of Nets.
Speed the genius.
Hey. That genius boss. That's all.
Shout out. And my brother El Jefe, a.k.a. White Jersey, a.k.a. Blue Jersey, a.k.a.
Joe Shane talking about the flip it down and reverse it. Octua.
Nice. Yo,
Octua.
you were prepared tonight. I like that.
I was ready,
like
sir.
that.
I was ready. And shout out
Got
to
it.
you.
He did
Yes,
his
you the
research.
revivalists in the chat. Please hit that thumbs up, share and subscribe. We do appreciate all the support. We got a lot to talk about. Bear with us. We're gonna go through everything tonight. But first, let's go around the room. And I'm gonna start with El Jefe, man. How was your weekend? How was your day? Because you got a damn good day today, brother. I just want to let you know that. Jealous.
Yeah, I'm off this week, which in theory is a great idea. But it turns out I have even less time than I did previously because it's just full dad mode, right? And these are the times to hold on to, as they say. But I don't have 5 minutes to do a damn thing. I was trying to get on the phone with you guys 7 different times today.
Yeah.
And when I finally got Spiro on the phone, I had to hang up within 90 seconds because my son bit my daughter, and it was complete fucking chaos going on.
Oh, no.
Yeah, he's a biter. It's a problem.
Oh, no.
We're working through this.
Don't bite your friends. Yo, Gabba Gabba. I don't know. I just remember that song. I don't know. Go ahead. Yeah, keep going.
But anyway, that's where I'm at. It's fantasy football draft week. We got our Revival League draft tomorrow night, which is me and Spiro, and that's a season-long redraft league. Then I got my big league on Thursday.
Can I join? Can I learn or something?
So now I need. If you want
to join that league, you don't want to join that league. Yeah.
No, okay, cool, no problem. Say no more.
It's serious. I think this year would be a perfect build up for you.
Yes,
to get in the game. But I'm pumped. I said to Spiro, if I make it out of this week not divorced, it'll be a miracle. Because I'm like, yeah, I got a podcast night. She's like, how about tomorrow? I got a draft. How about the night after? Yeah, another draft. Yeah.
Yeah.
Sounds
like a damn good week. No, that's
so
crazy.
here's the deal. E. This is like prime draft because what you want to do is you want to get through all the preseason games kind of before you draft. That's like the best case scenario. Sometimes you have to do it a little earlier if like all the boys can only get together at one specific time. But if you can get past the preseason games, you ensure yourself probably the healthiest roster you can get going forward. And you know the most about cuts, trades, etc.
Exactly. Yep.
So everything is crammed into this week, and it's Labor Day week. So you got people doing shit on Friday. It's like, and then next week is the start of football. So it's like a chaotic. If you're an NFL/fantasy football guy, these next 2 weeks are like, let's be nice to the wifey. Let's really watch. They do your best with the kids.
I feel you, Speed, but you're the only one in this group that actually gave their wife a letter, which you broadcast.
Damn, I got to do that. I got to do that.
You guys got to do that.
I got to do this. It's the only way it's going to work.
I don't think my wife's gonna have a sense of humor right now, though. It's been
it's been hellacious.
I got to her last week. It was before draft week, so
smart.
it was different.
That was smart.
You know what she said too? She was just like, as long as you're available those other days, I don't give a shit. Like, I was like, he got out pretty good. He got out pretty good there.
I know she's a cool girl, Spiro, but was she that cool once you put the camera down?
Well, she's like, what is this bullshit? This is just for content.
She's like,
right?
what just happened? Yeah.
Camera was
got
off.
hit with it.
I'm not doing this shit.
Yeah.
Right, I'm not doing this.
Off the record, you better be fucking kidding. Right?
I love that her first instinct was to be like, why can't I put in a notice for football season? Like she loves it. She loves it too. Yeah.
she's a sports girl.
She's an Eagles fan, right?
She gets down.
Right?
Yeah,
You can't have it all, Eli. See, you
know
can't have
what?
it all.
Exactly.
You're
There's no perfect person out there, right?
You're right. You're right. Listen, so guys, of course, fun-filled show for the night, man. First, guys, I just want to talk about one thing, man, because this seems to be heavy in the Giants community. Before we get to the Giants cuts, all right, we understand CeeDee Lamb got paid out of the Cowboys, right? Good for CeeDee Lamb. I think he has like $100 million guaranteed. The rest of it is whatever the hell it is. You know what I mean? So
Taxes.
point though, my Uncle Sam, man. Listen, I'll still walk around. Somebody did the math. I forgot what.
He got like 18 mil out of the 40, like 35 mil. He's only getting 18 of it. It's like
The bank. That's a lot of money. I'm sorry.
Now, is that
Wow.
after taxes, agent, everything?
Supposedly,
not
yeah.
even. I don't even think agent was
So
it.
Yeah,
agent-
no,
Okay.
they said agent. They said agent.
Oh,
yeah.
okay,
okay.
Oh, yeah. Out of management, whatever the hell it is,
Yeah.
all of it, he walks away with 18.9. I'm laughing to the bank. I don't know about you, man. That's a lot of money.
It's a lot of money, but it does not. It's just not all what it shakes out to be when you see the initial number. You're like, oh, 34, that's crazy, and then you slash it in half. Essentially, it's wild.
But are you still? I mean, you can't.
I'll
laugh
still
at
take
that.
18 mil.
I'm
Let's
like,
just-
dude,
yes,
where's $1 million? Like,
yes.
where's $1
No,
million?
you're right.
I'll
In the
sign
long term.
I'll sign $500K. Like at
Oh,
this
my
point,
God.
I'm just
I
saying.
sign
that's
less
a lot
than
of
that. I
money.
mean, keep going down.
Yeah, right.
Guys, I got some breaking Giants news, and I'm
Oh,
not sure if anybody's seen it yet. Maybe I'm not.
Oh.
Stop breaking. I don't know.
Talk.
Isaiah McKenzie, season-ending injured reserve. There goes our
Ooh.
kickoff returner right off the bat, just right off the bat.
And Gunner's
Yeah.
hurt. Isn't Gunner
Gunner's
hurt already?
hurt. Gunner's hurt.
Are you calling Kadarius Tony?
You're
Oh, fuck.
no. Fuck that dude.
Are we calling Kadarius the deuce
Fuck
of return?
Kadarius.
Spiro's like, no, right?
No.
No.
Yo,
We
you
need
know that's a
that-
good idea, Speed.
We need that
You
gift
know it.
of that girl like, no.
Yeah, right.
No.
Maybe.
I wish-
He's just such an ass clown. Like you can't
He
you
is.
can't bring that back into the building. But
Speaking
I'll
of-
take his
I-
skill set for a second.
Yeah.
And I know we're supposed to get with the CeeDee Lamb. I was supposed to lead into somewhere, but you know what? Let's wait. Because I want to talk about Kadarius Tony a little bit here. I'm gonna wait a little bit. Kadarius Tony cut by the Kansas City Chiefs here today. This is something we saw coming, right? This guy, somebody actually put something up on Twitter where he was selling his home and it was actually the medical tent on the sideline. Like the blue tent.
That's good.
I was
good one.
dying when I saw that,
Internet,
man.
Internet remains undefeated. It's the best.
Undefeated, man. But Kadarius Tony just is another remnant of freaking Dave Gettleman. I just want to ask this, Hef, and I wanted to ask this later in the show, but fuck it. Let's rip the Band-Aid off. Let's have some fun. I think Joe Shane has a little more fixing to do than we all initially thought. So how on earth can you be upset with Joe Shane after you see another Dave Gettleman remnant the hell off a team? And he's probably going for the freaking UFL at this point. Shout out to those guys. I'm trying to play. But I'm just saying, Hef, you gotta admit, like you gotta breathe a little easy on Joe Shane a little bit. He got a lot of mess to clean up. No, am I wrong?
Well, it's his mess now. It's year 3. This is his roster, is how I feel. And I don't like comparing him to the worst GM that we can all think of, like ever. I apologize. I'll jump back in if I'm buffering or messed up. but
You're in it. You're good now. You're good now.
You're
Keep
good.
going.
You're good. Yeah, cook.
You just let me know. But I have major concerns about this roster. And if this season is a disaster, like who else do you look to but Joe Shane? So I don't want to compare him to Gettleman and think that he's doing a great job just because he's better than Gettleman, who
The
drove
bar's too
this
low there.
franchise straight into the ground. Yeah,
Right.
that's where I'm at.
But here's I say this, and Speed, I'm sorry, and I
No,
say
go ahead.
that saying right. The fact that he has this because Dave Gettleman put it into the toilet, like we have to give him a little bit more rope, right? And shout out to Bobby Skinner. I just want to say this to the both of you guys right now. The Giants roster makeup by GM, 45 are Joe Shane's guys. Only 8 people left of Dave Gettleman right now at this point. And those 8 guys are Daniel Jones, Andrew Thomas, Darius Slayton, Dexter Lawrence, Azeez Ojulari, Carter Coughlin, Graham Gano, and Casey Kreider. Those are the only guys left from the Dave Gettleman era. So I do understand reading that where Hefe's coming from, where it's like, yo, man, this is your roster. But I think you gotta give him another 2. Am I wrong, Speed?
So I'm like smack dab in the middle of both of you guys. So I know it's like a cheap cop out, but like you read the list. There's only 8 guys that were worthy of bringing forward, which sucks. And one of those, like a couple of those guys, one was a long snapper, one was like there's a couple of no-name guys. So it's like, we left the cupboard. He left the cupboard bare. And Gettleman, if Gettleman is your bar, it's the lowest bar you could set. So to clear that, you just have to be semi-competent, in my opinion. But the people are going too far in the wrong direction here. They're killing Shane. They're like, he's just as bad. Yeah, he's just as bad as Gettleman, which I don't agree with. I don't agree. And a lot of that stems from, I think, 2 moves. I think it stems from Neal being a bust, which, again, you could blame it on Joe Shane, but any GM that needed a right tackle was going to take Evan Neal in that spot. Like, nobody saw this kind of fall off coming. At worst, you saw him being an average right tackle. So I hate to put that on the GM because, again, surefire, everybody was going to take him top 10. And then the Daniel Jones re-signing. And again, I to this day will always say there's extenuating factors of him being healthy at the right time, the owner getting involved. There's a lot of factors. Them winning the one time, the 5th year, it all just was a perfect storm. And Shane's going to take the blame for it, but I can see why it transpired that way. So that's why he's getting, the negative connotation. There's just not a negativity around the Giants right now, and it falls on the GM. But there's a middle ground. I think Joe Shane's still building the right thing, and I don't think he's the worst GM that's ever lived, which Gettleman is in that territory.
And listen, and I'll throw a couple more names in there that could be on the bubble. Not to say bust, but could be like, man, when are they going to come alive, right? A lot of people giving JMS hell, and it's not the fact that he can't play. It's just his availability, right? He's hurt pretty much throughout this. He's hurt now.
He's got to stay healthy, bro.
He's got to stay healthy. So if he's not healthy throughout this entire season, if he can't give you 17 games this season, you got to look and be like, this might be another one, Joe Shane. Yeah. If Kayvon Thibodeau can't be that force to help Brian Burns at this point, right? Because we got Brian Burns, and if Brian Burns is balling and Thibodeau can't get to that next level, then you got to be like, man, it's Thibodeau. Did he miss on Thibodeau too? Like there's just so many.
If Thibodeau does not, if Thibodeau doesn't take that next step, that's going to cast some serious doubt into it. Serious doubt.
I agree.
But Wan'Dale's looking like he's a player. Bellinger might come forward. Mika McFadden's looking like a good second linebacker. Eric Gray, maybe he grabs onto that second RB spot. Maybe Jalen Hyatt becomes that second wide receiver that we need.
And Tyrone Tracy
Banks
looks good.
Tyrone Tracy. Deontay Banks is going to be he's casting a little bit of doubt in the drafting thing too now. He's had a tough summer again.
Yeah.
And he needs to step it up now. He needs to be our CB1 because if he's not a CB1, you drafted a CB2 at 25. I don't know. I
want to go down.
Yeah.
I want to go down this rabbit hole a little bit, Speed, because you just said his name, Deontay Banks.
Yeah.
Can you the fact that he had such a good rookie season? I won't say great. It was good. It was
above average.
It was above average. It was good.
Yes.
If he gives you that same above average performance, are you saying Joe Shane struck gold? Are you saying like, yo, he's a CB1? Like, are you still saying like, oh, he's a CB1 for sure if he played that same exact level this season? That could be another swing and a miss if he gives you that. You get what I'm saying?
I think he'd be in the lower end of CB1 if he just does what he did last year. But, if CB1 is a CB1. So, yeah, I'd say lower end. But again, you pick at the back end of the draft, first round. Okay, it's like it's just like a single as opposed to a double or a triple or a home run. It's like your baseline. And what Joe Shane hasn't done enough of is draft stars. That's been, and I think Neighbors. I think he's got one in Neighbors. I think he's got a surefire star, and it feels great with Neighbors. Newbin, maybe not star, but Newbin might be a guy, and if Newbin could be a guy, that's huge. But right now, you just really have Neighbors and maybe Thibodeau if he takes the next step. But that's it. In 3 drafts, you got two really good players and a lot of not good players. So very much the jury is still out on Joe Schoen, big time.
I agree. And I think we're missing that star power. And again, I think we have that now in Neighbors as we're talking about it. But I'm telling you right now, if Deonte Banks don't take that next step forward, we might have to talk about, like, man, I don't know if Joe Schoen can you know what I mean, can pull it off as far as finding the stars that we need, because you're going to need a star in offense, which you got Malik Neighbors, right? Usually it's the quarterback, but I get it. We got the wide receiver. You kind of need that star on defense. So either it's going to be Brian Burns, the guy that you got via trade, right? Or it can be like a Deonte Banks, or it could be a Kayvon Thibodeau. Like, one of those guys has to be the star, right? Yeah. It has to be a Strahan. There has to be a Tuck. You know what I mean? There has to be a guy in there that can get this done on defense. That's the star. And one of those guys has to do it. Just one. If no one can present themselves this year, you got to look at Joe Schoen and say, oh, my God, you can't. You're in the way. There's something wrong here. There's something happening. You might be in the way. And I know, Hef, you got to get back in here. And I know we talked about so much. But we were talking about what if Deonte Banks gives you the same performance as he gave you last year? Are you still looking at him as a CB1 at this point? Or do you look at Joe Schoen and go, oh, this ain't enough? Like, give me your thoughts on that.
Yeah, in general, and I hope my connection's better. I just rebooted.
You look good.
Okay. Cool.
Looking damn good.
All right. So Banks, you totally expect him to take a jump. If he doesn't, like, the defense is even worse shape, the secondary. Like, that's huge.
Scary.
But then you have to look at, like, how Schoen is drafting and how many cornerstones do we have. And you got 3 full drafts now that are his. And so our best players are still, and granted, they're top tier players at their positions, Andrew Thomas and Dex. Those aren't his draft choices. So how much faith should we have in him? Should we keep letting him draft players? Because we've seen what the wrong GM can do. Yeah, you keep digging, and then you got bad contracts and bad players to move off of. So this team needs Jesus. We need some kind of, like, damn, man. Like, I'm trying to get excited. Dude, like, I just need a football team to believe in. I want to wear my Giants gear outside and be proud of it again. Like, it's been bad. It's been really bad. And Daniel Jones, we just have a quarterback that is the butt of every joke in the NFL. Like, he is just the lowest hanging fruit to rip on. And, like, this team in general just needs to, like, show something, because you got Philly and Dallas on the ropes, like, potential moving on from their head coaches, major contract situations in Dallas. You got the 49ers, who are $25 million over the cap and still have to pay Trent Williams. And what's his name? Ayuk doesn't have a deal yet. Yes. They are, and their quarterback is going to be up at some point, Purdy.
Oh, yeah.
So that team, their window is right now. It might be at the end of their window, but if they continue, we have to draft well. That's it.
Yeah.
But the NFC can start to open up if you can just take advantage. Like, just be a player, be in that conversation.
Sorry, I'm looking at the Nets. I apologize. I'm looking at TK.
What?
Yeah, I know. He does this. He has a way of just cutting right to the core of you, Baxter.
Love you, TK. Love you. Love you, brother.
Miss your Musk.
Yeah, I know. No, it's listen. It's a big year. We need to know some things. We need to know if the O-line is fixed. We need to know how far away this defense is and what's missing. And we need to know what's going on at quarterback. There's a lot of big questions that need to be asked. And I think that's why, again, I was telling you guys this. I was just like, I'm in the dumps right now, man. Like, there's so many questions about, the last 2 preseason games have left a bad taste in all of us Giants fans mouths. We don't know where this roster is. There's so many people picking on Daniel Jones. There's so many negative things that are happening now. Like, you start hearing on the radio, like, is there a chance Dable doesn't make it through the season again? Like, that question is starting to be asked, and it's scary to hear about because again, you got to get off to a hot start. They can shut everybody up. They can shut everybody up by being at the very minimum 1-1. You got to at 2-0 buys you. It probably buys you the season. I got to be honest with you. 2-0. Like, elite, because then you start to wonder where the wins are at if they don't get off to 2-0,
Dude, like, even if you just look at week 1, if you lose week 1 at home against Sam Darnold and Justin Jefferson, that's who you're playing against.
Yeah. There's a lot of people missing.
If he loses those 2 games, they're definitely going to call us.
Oh, that's
hands
yes.
down. You
Oh
can't
my
lose
God.
to
That's
Sam
facts.
Arnold. You just can't. You just
We-
can't.
can't.
They're
If
gonna
we go
call
0-2, if we go 0-2, the only bright spot, if you're looking for one, is that it will be a dumpster fire where you're getting your quarterback. Like
You're
Hands
gonna
down.
get your quarterback
1,000% the next year.
hands down. Hands
Yeah.
down. And the question is, if it's such a dumpster fire and we do get a first round pick, at that point you added the Dak Prescott sweepstakes.
Okay,
At this point, right?
Listen,
Like let's
we can't
talk
do
about
this.
it.
Let's not go down this. I can't go down this. road.
We're gonna go down this rabbit hole because why the hell not? Because Twitter's talking about it. And we got to.
Well, okay, so bring it back to the Cowboys here. All right.
All right, so we
do you
already.
yeah.
Go ahead, Speed.
No, do you think now, like with the CD thing, that there's a real chance Dak could go, or in my opinion, let me just give you my opinion real quick before you guys go. I think that you don't sign a CD Lamb to go back into quarterback hell and have nobody to throw him the ball.
Like the
So
Vikings.
I think Jerry's just gonna have to. He's gonna figure it out. He's gonna literally tie his hands behind his own back and go huck to it, and he's gonna get Dak done. He's gonna.
What
get
did
it
you
done.
just say?
Come on, Dak.
Yes, exactly.
Sign the treaty.
And I'll tell you what,
Sign
Jerry
the
Jones.
I'll
Jerry
sign
Jones
the
is literally cutting his nose off to save his face. Like they are going to be in cap hell. You're paying all these guys top money, but they have no other choice. They
They're-
literally have no other choice.
That's what I said. It's your fault
I-
for drafting so well. You got to pay these guys. But you would have 3 guys eating half of your cap, like really close to half, because those 3 guys are going to clear 100 million. That's
Easily.
too
I mean,
much. Then they're stars. They're amazing
crazy.
players. But damn it, that's all your money. Like you don't have room after
And
that.
you don't know who's the coach going to be. If they fail again, and they lose again, and maybe don't even go to the playoffs, lose in the first round. McCarthy might not be there. They're starting with a new coach.
Who are you gonna pay? Because don't forget, you still got Micah Parsons coming up on a deal. You still got Dak Prescott, so you got to pay one of those 2 guys, right? Either way, I mean, if you pay Dak, I think Parsons is gonna walk. If you pay Parsons, I think Dak's gonna walk. It's just way too much money you got to shell out at this point. So the Giants aren't. I mean, the Cowboys aren't disarray.
To be
this
honest,
point,
the Cowboys, it might be smart for them. Like you in a and I know that they haven't been able to get over the hump of the second round and all of that, but they've been a top tier offense year in and year out. Like Dak puts up
regular
points.
season offense. Absolutely.
Say what you want. That dude puts up points. They're averaging like high 20s year in and year out. They're putting up points all the time. But you might want to look at how much you can really get for Micah Parsons. Because if you still have a good enough defense, and they do have a good defense, you can package Parsons and get a haul and then put yourself back. I mean, it's tough. It's a tough pill to swallow because he's a great defensive player. But this is an offense league now.
It's so interesting. It's so interesting how they're going to go. And they just lost their what's his name? Bland. They're one of the best cornerbacks.
Shame.
For 6 to 8 weeks, bro.
I
6
saw
to 8
that.
weeks.
I was heartbroken. Absolutely.
Just
And I'm
really
sure,
gotcha.
I'm sure
He's going to
Neighbors
miss the
was
first
too.
Giants game.
Yeah, week
Yes.
3.
He's going to miss the first Giants
I can
game.
see the meme or the gift that you're putting up right now, Hef, with Jerry Seinfeld with the popcorn.
Yes, that's a shame.
That's
Dude,
a shame.
If Neighbors is getting 9 to 12 targets every week, and there's not really many guys in the division that can slow him down.
Who? Yeah, who's
Like,
slowing him down?
It ain't Brad. He's gonna cook Bradbury, dude. If you're
well,
trying to,
Bradbury's not even going to start on his own team. By the way, he
was on the bubble, right?
They're like, let's try him at free safety because maybe he'll succeed there. Did
they make the move? They made the move.
Oh, he's either not starting or going to be a free safety or gone. Like
he keeps getting demoted. Yeah, he's on his.
Oh yeah.
Giants got the best of him probably.
Yeah. And Forbes, the Redskins top draft pick from last year, he's getting benched. I don't know who on the Redskins, Commanders, whatever the fuck they are.
They're the Redskins.
And then Bland's out for 6 to 8 weeks now on the Cowboys. So who is stopping Neighbors in this division?
Who's stopping Neighbors throughout the league? Like, it's not some of the people that you could count. Like, who's going to stop? I mean, there's some people that'll match.
Maybe Daniel Jones.
Sauce.
Oh yeah, good.
We won't see it this year, but Sauce and Neighbors would be a really, really great matchup. I mean, we were just begging people to say Daniel Jones. Who's going to stop Neighbors? Yeah.
Daniel Jones. Hey, look, we're going to do this live on air. I need a holy shit of super chat in 3, 2, 1. Ready? Holy shit of super chat in 3,
Yes.
2.
Holy shit, a super
shit,
chat.
Super chat.
We'll take it. All right, let's play it back.
Holy shit, a super
Shit,
chat.
We got it live on there. We got
Damn
the
it.
sound effect. There we go. We made it. All right,
Did
let's
you
get to the
just get
super.
that?
Yeah, I just got
Damn.
that, man.
The fucking
Makes-
engineer. This guy.
Hold on, we got
authentic right here. Shout out
Speaking
authentic.
of super chat, first
Oh.
one of the day.
Oh, yeah, let's
Shout
get
out to
that
Chris
up.
K.
Hey, we appreciate you.
Listen,
Let's open up. Let's open up. Super chats are now live.
Oh,
Go ahead.
they're live. Let's open it up. He's got a multifaceted one here. Let's go quick. Rapid fire. Most overrated of are we talking Giants here? I wonder if we're just going to talk Giants. I assume yes. Yes, most overrated
Now I'm
Giants.
freezing up here. What the hell?
Who's
I'm
the most
freezing.
overrated Giant? I would say right
This
now.
feels like a $35
Yeah.
Yeah,
There's a lot-
This is
Hold on.
maybe we
Let's
each pick one. Yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
All right.
Okay,
So
let's go with most overrated. Daniel Jones.
He can't
Is he
be
even
any
overrated?
he
Yeah.
can't be any lesser rated.
I
Overpaid is a different
know.
story.
Is that right? Right. All right. No.
I will say-
honestly, most overrated as a Giant.
I'm going to say here. I'll take this one. I'll say Deontay Banks is being overrated right now because we're assuming he's the CB1 and he has not shown that he
I
can
like
be
that
CB1 yet. So I hope he's properly rated by the end of this season. But right now we're kind of just assuming he's the CB1 and hoping for the best.
I'm gonna grab underrated real quick and say
Okay.
Bobby Okereke, and he's
Yes,
and
good one.
he's
Yes.
a captain, but like this dude was reliable. He flies around the field, and you can't forget that he was the Brian Burns of last year. This like
Yes.
this big flashy free agent that you signed for or whatever traded for, and
Yeah,
like he's that dude. I mean I love him on the defense, so I'm gonna pick him for underrated.
Yeah.
All right. I
Best
guess
player?
I gotta go with the best player, and it'll be Daniel. No, I'm kidding. I'm so freaking kidding here.
Stop.
The best player on his team right now, you probably have to look at, and it's way too early to say this, but the hype of
Say
Malik
it,
Neighbors
say
is
it,
real,
say
man.
it.
It's
Say it with
really
your chest
real.
out.
I'm gonna say with my chest out. Seriously,
Let's
the hype
go.
of Malik Neighbors is real, man. That guy's the real deal. The guy can run
Yeah.
routes. The guy's crisp. The guy that catch the ball hawk, speed. He got everything. So
Yeah.
I would say the best player right now that we're gonna see, if hopefully the quarterback doesn't hinder him, people. We'll see how it goes. Will be Malik Neighbors. I'll go with that.
All right. I'll say key to addition. We'll just keep rolling here. I think the obvious one is Burns, but I'm going to go under the obvious one here, and I'm going to say Illuminor. I think if he could lock down that right tackle spot, that changes everything for whoever's at quarterback, and mostly Daniel Jones, like giving him some faith that he could stay in that pocket and not have to scramble out each time. You set those edges with AT and Illuminor, it changes everything from a confidence standpoint. Hopefully, he can take that confidence and change his internal clock as well.
I like that.
Nice.
Could surprise my guy, Tyler Nubin. I think this guy.
Ooh, yeah.
He
let's
is
go.
I just love like his nastiness, and he's like super tough. I like that. He's got great instincts, and you can see like from the first week of the offseason program, he's just slowly risen to the point where he's just taking that job because he's taking it, he's earning it. So I think that guy could surprise, and it might take a month, right? Can you imagine getting your first NFL action and seeing Justin Jefferson fly the fuck up? You know what I mean? So
yeah.
he's going to take a little bit of time, but I think he's going to be a reliable starter and a guy you'd be like, okay, check, we got that safety.
Right.
Who's next?
Right.
So Nubin.
All right. And
takes the
E
leap.
takes a leap. Who is
Takes
it?
the leap. Kayvon Thibodeau. I think you're going to see
Oh.
Kayvon Thibodeau actually be the player that we want him to be, attacking the quarterback. Even though you see him in some coverage in preseason, God help us all. What are we doing that for? Amen.
I hope it's just testing shit out.
All joking aside, yeah, I think that was just testing it out. But I think you actually get to see him actually play to his potential, play extremely well. He said he wants to chase after Michael Strahan, the single season sack record, and I think he'll be damn close to it. I'm talking about 16 to 18 type of sack season. I'm gonna say 16. I'm gonna keep that magic number 16. Either way, I'll take it. I think Kayvon Thibodeau will beat his last year's numbers, and he'll take that next leap with having Brian Burns next to him as well.
I think you could make a good case for him being the most underrated too. He's kind of under the radar right now. Nobody's even talking about him, but he finally has help for the first time in his career on the other side. So you collapse that pocket from one side and in the middle, there's nowhere to go. You can't double everybody.
That's a penalty if you're doubling everybody. We got one more super chat while we're on it.
Oh, Bill.
Question for the panel. now that the Bucks cut young Shep, does Mara come through on his statement, create a spot for him, not as a player, but in the building at least?
I hope so.
So
I
I
would love
think
so.
I think
I would love it.
he's gonna, similar to like the Victor Cruz towards the end, is he's gonna make sure he's done before he goes
Yes.
into media or whatever else. And I could see Shep being a great, wide receiver coach, assistant coach at first. And like you see him on the sideline, even when he was playing. That's a guy you would love to have in the organization once he officially turns the page and he's willing to say, okay, my playing days are over. I don't know. Maybe he gets a call, maybe not. But I think I would assume Dable loves him and would love to create a spot for him. I would think.
If nothing else, he's a hype guy. He's going to be the best hype guy in the league. He's going to be on the sidelines just cheering everybody up. I will hope that Shep, because he is the epitome of once a giant, always a giant. Like drafted, loves being a giant, loved his career here. So I hope there's a role for him somewhere. Because I just love that guy. I love that guy, and I wish injuries didn't get the best of him because he had such a promising start to his career. But it's not for long.
He's got the right stuff, like to be a good coach because he's passionate, really, really passionate. He was a really good route runner. It was really just injuries and a bad team that unfortunately just shit on his career. But I think he's a great guy to have around. I think once he got comfortable as a coach, he could raise the play of a whole wide receiver room. I believe that.
Absolutely. You know what I like to see him on right now if they can't find a spot for him? I need Teddy Bridgewater to give him a call. Come coach my wide receivers coach down here in this high school or whatever the case
That'd
is.
Be nice.
What is it, college? I'm sorry.
I think it's high school.
Is it high school? Yeah, I knew it was high school. Forgive me. But yeah, come be my wide receivers coach here, Shep. Go teach these young guys how to run these routes, man. And I think if he fits in there, that's when the NFL is going to be giving him a call. Shep's going to be a coach, hands down. Like you say, he got that electricity to him. You know what I mean? So, I would love for him to do it, man. I hope John Mara figures out something.
And most importantly, he always had the hottest girls.
He does pull some tail.
Hey now.
All right, so let's move on here. Shout
out to our guy.
Where do you want to go?
Let me ask you this. If Dak Prescott's available, we getting Dak Prescott? Is that your fallback plan? If the Giants is in the middle of the pack, we're talking about like an 8-9 win season. They're in the middle of the pack. They cannot get a quarterback. You going all in on Dak Prescott at this point?
Yeah. Jeff, you want this one first?
I'm gonna say I'm not answering that until this season's over.
Yeah.
Because number one,
hypothetical.
No, I won't. I won't because number one, Dak could get a deal. That it's pointless. And you don't know how the Giants are going to do this year. If they're in a position to draft one, I'd much rather draft one than pay $60 million.
That's really what it comes down to. And here's the thing. For all this talk has been around for about a couple of months now. And initially I was just like, why wouldn't you take a chance on Dak? He always gets his team to the playoffs. But then I was like, I've been shitting on Dak every year because he can't win the big games in December in the cold. When he's outside, he can't win the big games when it matters and in the playoffs. So now I'm going to just throw that all out the window and say, hey, maybe in year 9, he'll become a clutch player again. Like, no, I don't think he will. So I don't think he is the guy to get us over the edge. If he goes bad, we need to draft. We need to draft our guy. Listen, if it goes the Dak way, I'll be on board, I guess, but I don't want to go that way. I want to draft our next guy. I want to be, I want to be excited about a new guy that I don't know if he's clutch or not yet.
I like that. And would we be better with Dak right now? Like, of course, easily.
Yes.
Like you would watch the play of every wide receiver get better instantly if Dak was there. But he's a Cowboy and he's way too expensive. And right now,
$60 million.
Like, no, I don't see us doing that anyway.
No. Agreed.
We clearly are cheap with the most important position. Real quick, R0 is our guy R0, as you know. Yes. He's going to have a surprise for you guys. He's going to be announcing soon that he's stirring something up behind the scenes. So
I love what he's doing. What he's doing.
Be on the lookout for that one.
So what do you want to talk about next here?
What hurt the most? Did you have a Giants cut today? that hurt the most? Did you bleed?
Did any of them hurt?
Did you bleed from any of these cuts today? You can go first if you want, because
I don't know, man. Like, here's the thing. It's twofold, because I want to get to the point where we're cutting guys that actually hurt, like that actually like move the needle and like will be, wanted around the league. But I don't think we're there yet. I don't think this roster is there yet. But if I had to say which cut hurt me the most, I guess, quote unquote hurt. I liked. Shit, man, it's tough to say. Like I liked Hodgins. Hodgins was my guy. I'll lean Hodgins because I don't think we have size now at wide receiver, and we don't have a big red zone target at wide receiver on the outside. Like, Neighbors is all world. Don't get me wrong. And Jalen, fast as hell. Slayton, fast as hell. Wandell, quick as hell. Good, slot wide receiver, possession guy. But we don't have a big red zone target that's going to go up and out and body somebody in the red zone anymore. We don't have this big guy that's going to just out muscle some dudes for a first down. Like, we don't have that guy.
Well,
so who do you think we have?
Well, Neighbors at 6'6" is going to be bigger than 98% of the corners he's up against and more athletic. So he's still the guy that'll go up and get it for you.
Sure. He's your best target, but there's just a difference of physical, like from a largeness standpoint, he will go up higher and get your ball. Well, and he ATDs in the past 2 years, is ATDs.
Yep.
Like, we had a bad offense the last 2 years, and he's gotten TDs with a bad roster around him. We built him up to be like a legit. I mean, it was kind of sarcastic the whole time. It was more like he's our wide receiver one. Yeah, that's right.
But I think he was. It's more about, like, for me with Hodgins, it's more about like, thank you for your service. He came in and he stepped up, especially when it mattered in 2022, right? Like, he showed up in Minnesota. He had himself a day, and he kind of did everything that was asked of him, and he was a pro about it. So I it's kind of like, thank you for being here during what was otherwise a shitty time. R0 said Beavers. I will say, like, Beavers is more like
Beavers,
the hype that was coming out about him. But I saw him in practice, and that dude doesn't have it anymore. That guy was a step and a half behind every play, and he's and it sucks. Like, how many guys does that happen to? That you have the dream and you're this close, and to think that your story might end with, I was on the practice squad and just couldn't get off of it, kind of thing. And that really sucks. And I'm sure that it happens to countless guys, way more than there are superstars.
And he tore his ACL that rookie year, and it kind of like just threw everything. Like, there was some hype around that he was going to be a guy that would take that role and be that late in a draft, like diamond in the rough. And then, like, I don't know, man. When Tracy went down earlier in training camp, I was like, this is like that. This is a guy that's going to lose his opportunity. Like, I felt it. I was like, I feel so bad for him. And it's just the way the NFL works. It's such a, harsh league, man. If you miss your chance by even this much, you won't get it back. You won't get it back for a lot of these guys. So
you always wind up focusing on the stars and the great players that are able to do it year in and year out. But there are just 100 for every one of those that just couldn't make the cut. Who else is on this list? Cager. I thought he had like great athletic ability as a tight end. He just couldn't stay healthy. Didn't work out. And there's nothing you can do about those. Allen Robinson cut. We had Miles Boykin. I didn't even know that.
Yeah, he was a good special teamer, and they apparently want him back. So he's a guy that could be practice squad material.
I was sarcastically upset about Darnay Holmes, of course.
Let's talk about what everybody was stirred up about, though. Turbo Miller is the one that everybody kind of just, they wanted Turbo on there. And listen, he's the quickest back we have, probably like one of the probably most talented, but it was tough, man. The day that Eric Gray had that monster game, I feel like Turbo Miller's chances of making the roster just went just fell off the earth. It just went so far down. And it's hard to have 4 running backs, and it's even harder to have 4 running backs when you have 3 quarterbacks. So when you carry a fucking DeVito and you have to fucking have a lock, because you don't trust lock, you have to have a DeVito. Now somebody else suffers down the line.
Well said.
Right?
You don't trust Daniel, so you had to sign Drew, but you don't trust Drew, so you got to keep DeVito. That's
It's
basically
such
where
a
we're at.
fucking cluster at the room right now, man. And that cost Miller a fucking roster spot. It sucks. It sucks. It costs a guy like him a roster spot.
Do you think
And you could lose him now.
Do you think Turbo showed enough? I think it's more about other teams. Like the Packers, I think, have Josh Jacobs right now.
I know.
They just announced A.J. Dillon out for the year.
Yes.
That's a dude. It's got to be another frustrating. He was always like the second guy, and now, But what do you think about Jameis Winston?
Oh, I love Jameis Winston.
I mean,
that
he's
guy,
the best personality in the NFL. I don't know if you can top his personality.
I mean, listen, as a Florida State fan, I have a special love for him, even going back to his crab stealing days. But I love Jameis Winston. He is he's just gonna let it rip, and he does not give a fuck. His good comparison to Jameis Winston was always Eli Manning. Like these guys, he'll come in and he will throw it 500 times down the field, and he doesn't care if he throws 5 interceptions or 5 touchdowns. I think it was Sal that put out a tweet today. He said it's going to be the most fun season you'll ever go. He'll throw for 40 touchdowns and 45 interceptions. But it's going to be a damn good time watching it all transpire. And I love Jameis. I wish it would happen. I just think that at the end of the day, we're locked in with where we're at, with the quarterback spot.
This is a fun sidebar conversation. And our guy Bill Hartnett said Kittle is the best personality in the NFL, which I think you either love or hate Kittle, because if you're not like a hippy dippy kind of person, you might just think he's annoying as fuck. Because you all know somebody like him. They're either funny or you just got to walk away from them. And Kittle's that guy for me. If you're in the mood for him, he's funny.
Right.
Who else could be the best personality in the NFL?
Best personality. Trying to think now because it's not ringing a bell.
It's really hard to beat Jameis Winston. Keon Coleman is making some waves in Buffalo.
He's a fun guy. He's a fun dude.
Where everything they say is just funny, not intentional.
Right.
He's just a funny person.
I mean, listen, there's so many fucking cool dudes in the NFL. Minshew's another good one.
Oh, that's a great one.
Bill's on fire. It's just there's so many good personalities in the NFL. You can find one per team, man. I love watching. That's why I love watching Hard Knocks. You get to really hone in on how awesome these guys are, and I just.
Did anything surprise you about the captains that were named today? So they named 5 instead of 26, instead of 26. And 5 is the perfect amount. You got 1 special teamer, 2 on offense, 2 on defense. So you got Casey Kreider. I mean, the leader of this entire team. Let's be honest.
He's the leader. You're right.
Daniel Jones, Andrew Thomas, Dexter Lawrence, Bobby Okereke. My guy, Bobby Okereke.
All that made sense.
Is there anybody you think should have been swapped in or out?
Well, Burns. I wish that Burns. Well, I get why Burns wasn't, but I think by next year Burns will be, because he's got that aura about him, right?
Mm-hmm.
He's
a leader.
Yeah. You just could tell the second he walked in the building, he's good in front of the mic. He's got the talent. He's just the perfect blend. He's young, and he's going to be the guy selling those 0 jerseys in the stands. Everybody's gonna love him. And you saw him that one time at a DN's practice. He just stepped up and was telling everybody what it takes to be a great defensive end, and he just seems like a natural born leader. He will be that guy, and I think he deserves one. Now,
do you have to have a special teams captain?
I don't really think you do, because why is our long snapper to be a captain?
Because we get married to long snappers. Once we have one, we don't. Well, it's also a position you can do for fucking ever.
True.
You really don't get hit, and it's such a
Diassi was just the
specific set of skills. Yeah, Diassi. He was with us forever.
Very niche, and you want to go. He really was, and you don't want to trade him in, because then you're it's another thing that you have to just search for. It just, you don't want to be searching for a long snapper. There's so many other fucking positions. You might as well keep that guy as long as he's going to run. What a
stupid position to not have a good one. Imagine your long snapper cost you games.
Imagine you had Trey Junkin as your long snapper and he cost you a playoff game. Yeah.
That's one of those thankless positions. Yes. If you do it perfect, no one knows about you. but you might have a job for 15 years.
Yeah, right.
Which is a nice balance there. But if you fuck up, you're done, and you're on the streets. C's, thanks for coming, brother. Let's cheers. I'll cheers. Do you have a freshie, Spiro?
Hey, I just cracked open my Surfside, so yes, I do. Cheers.
I got a homemade
Cheers,
Tito's and Sprite tonight. That's my go-to.
Love it. It's Labor Day week, and I'm feeling really good. Like it's draft week in fantasy. It's Labor Day week. Like I'm just still like even though summer really doesn't exist when you're an adult, I still feel like this is the last week of summer, and I kind of want to enjoy it. So I'm drinking tonight, boys. Boys and girls. I'm having a good time.
I like that.
Jeff's having a good time, and here we go.
Question for you, QB.
All right,
QB2, right?
Ooh, tough question.
DeVito looked significantly better than Drew Lock, I think, the first preseason game, and then it's back to like looking like an undrafted, free agent. And so, who are you more? I mean, we might have the worst quarterback room. Is there a worse
in the league?
Is there a worse one?
Here's the thing. I don't know. I don't think that. I mean, it's tough to say. There's things that could transpire, and like say Pittsburgh, if Russ is cooked and Fields stinks, maybe that gets bad. But like,
there's so many teams that just set themselves up so much better. Like if you're Atlanta, you have Kirk Cousins, who is going to give you 30 touchdowns, 4,000 yards every year, and then you have Penix. So if he goes down, you got your future behind him who can sling it. So like it's not a letdown. And you in Detroit, you got what's his face?
Goff and
Hooker. And Hooker. Yeah. And Hooker was looking dangerous. You know what I mean? Like there are just so many teams that have set themselves up better.
Yeah.
And then there are teams like the Bills who you don't even know because Josh Allen doesn't miss a snap.
Well, that's the thing. I think we're really focused on QB2 and QB3 because we have so many questions about the QB1. So, but like, I think here's the thing. I think DeVito's getting shit on a little bit unnecessarily. He was behind a really bad offensive line in that Jets game for a lot of the game.
Caitlin agrees.
Yeah, Caitlin, thank you. And I think it was Evan Roberts today. He's like, I felt bad for DeVito because he walked himself into a lot of sacks, and that's DeVito's weakness to his game. He doesn't feel pressure a lot of times. He walks himself into sacks, but like if he's playing behind our starting offensive line, I feel kind of confident that he can get us through a game. I think he could win us a couple games. We saw him win the Packers game. We saw him win a couple of the games last year. So I feel confident that he can come in and be, and I always said this, like a Minshew kind of quarterback where he will do just enough, keep you in it, could win a game, might lose you a game here and there. He's going to craft himself a great backup role for the rest of his career. And remember, he was an undrafted free agent last year. So he still has so much room to grow physically, like mentally, and he could be a better quarterback. So I feel more confident. I hate to say, I kind of feel.
If you don't mind, I'll jump in. Forgive me, guys. Forgive me. I know I've been kind of crazy, but I know a lot of people are like, "Yeah, you see me. Thank you, man.
Welcome back.
It's the virtual damn background. Fucking
the whole time. Kill that. This is so much. This is so much better anyway, brother.
This
is so much
better. I appreciate you. Thank you. I'll fix it up, make it nice next time. But listen. As far as Tommy DeVito, right? I know a lot of people. Go get Jameis Winston. Go get Jameis Winston. But you're right, Speed. With the first unit offensive line, we kind of see what he did last year, right? The kid could win you some games, a bona fide backup at this point. You know what I mean? And again, I'm not trying to poo-poo on Drew Lock because unfortunately Drew Lock is hurt. You got to keep 3 quarterbacks. Otherwise, the Giants would only kept 2. The Giants definitely would only kept 2. And plus, Tommy DeVito was like, dude, if you cut me, I'm out of here. Like, because I think the Patriots wanted him last season when he was on a waiver wire and he stayed with the Giants. But with that being said, he's a bona fide backup. I think Tommy DeVito can play. Again, he's an undrafted free agent, so I don't expect him to be spectacular out there. I don't expect him to elude the rush coming in. Like, the kid isn't that like, he's a backup, people. He's not a starter in this league. Because
that's what you gotta. Yes,
I understand. People are like, he's gonna take Daniel Jones' spot. The hell he is. No, like Daniel Jones is the only time he's gonna take Daniel Jones' spot if Daniel Jones is hurt. That's the only time. The kid cannot play better than Daniel Jones, but he's a bona fide backup. I think he's getting a little too much heat thrown at him.
Yeah.
I think you guys, let me just say, some people are probably looking at the starter. The fact that he doesn't play as well, they're just like, man, we want DeVito to be it. Like, they're just measuring that stick to Daniel Jones, and you just
desperation. It's another Gettleman. It's another Gettleman Shane thing. Don't compare him to something bad and say he's pretty good.
Exactly. Listen, our quarterback room is probably the weakest in the NFL. Let's be honest. I understand a lot of people love Daniel Jones. I love Daniel Jones too. He's a great guy. But let's be honest, looking at it outside, looking in, this is the weakest quarterback room in the NFL. So you can't measure these guys together. I mean, measure them throughout the entire league. You'll go, none of them is it. None of them. Even if you look at Sam Darnold over there with the Vikings, you got to go, Sam Darnold could play a little bit better. Maybe a little bit. Maybe a little bit.
I think the biggest challenge is that Drew Lock got hurt so early on.
That's what hurts.
Yeah. So now we don't even know what he is in this offense.
I kind of
wasn't looking good. And he wasn't looking good.
I know, but before he came here, I kind of liked Drew Lock because he would chuck it. And at least that was where I was like, all right, if things go south and DJ's still being conservative, you have a guy in Drew Lock, which he's a big dumb animal, but at least he'll chuck it down the field. And that's what I want to see about him. But I feel like that whole first game just kind of unraveled on him, whether he was nervous or he just looked so out of sorts. And then that was the last image that we saw of the guy. So of course we're like, this fucking sucks right now.
Even Drew Lock said after that game where he got hurt, and he's like, our reporters are just New York reporters just ask questions that like other teams don't. Like he said something like, when you came out and everyone cheered for Tommy DeVito, how did that feel?
How did that make you feel inside?
Can you ask a football question? And so Drew Lock is like, well, I don't blame him. I got hurt and he was replacing me, and then he won games for them last year, and he's been working his ass off. So like he had such a pro response about it. Yeah,
he answered it well.
But it's true. Like what else can Drew Lock say in that we just like pin them? We just pin these people up against the wall and make them uncomfortable.
I'm gonna ask this stupid question because why the hell not? Is Tommy DeVito the QB2 and Lock is the 3 at this point? If you're looking at the depth chart,
man,
they're not going to do that because they paid him $5 million.
Yeah,
and DeVito is, for all intents and purposes, free. So they're not going to do that because that, again, it's the same thing why they keep like rolling Daniel Jones out there. They paid him, so you make yourself look awful if you bench him or move on that soon after. It takes a lot of gall to throw a bunch of money at the wrong dude and quickly move on, because then that raises question marks everywhere else. I think it's better to admit your mistake and start to move on, but they don't seem like they're willing to do that in some cases.
I think what is knocking DeVito down a little bit is that people see these other like QB2s and QB3s that at least have like a chance to develop into something a little bit greater. And I think when you look at DeVito, you kind of see him where where's his cap? Like his cap is probably going to be, like I said, a Minshew kind of guy. Mm-hmm. So like you see that and you're kind of like, oh man, I wish we had like a more developmental like a guy that had some like physical tools. Right. Like some tools like what's his name in New England who Joe Milton throws the ball 95 yards and people are like, yeah, man, if they could harness that, maybe he could be something. You look at DeVito, you're like, all right, well, he could be a good backup quarterback. And that's pretty much it. That's what I think but that's good though.
It's okay as long as you're confident in your starter. That's
you just have to have You just have to have a QB2 sometimes, and I think that's going to be good. But that's why he gets knocked on the same time because it's like, okay, DeVito is what he is, and that's like
because there are a handful of people saying DeVito should be the starter, and like that's why people he's not. And that's what causes the turmoil.
You're nuts. And listen, guys, I just want to ask this because I don't know if you guys went over it in the midst of me doing what I had to do. Looking at the depth right now, the 53-man roster after all the cuts, are you guys comfortable with if anyone goes down, there's someone that can come in and actually let's go with position by position.
Eli, I haven't been comfortable since 2012.
Say no more. And you know what? And I'm happy about that. You know what I mean? Not to say happy about that. I'm not saying that to make you uncomfortable. But I'm glad we have this conversation. Like, I'm glad we're having this conversation because now we get to go, man, like, how bad were we? that we're
Yeah,
looking at
I
this
mean-
roster and it's just like, man, we still not there yet. When are we going to be there? Because if you look at offensive line, any one of those guys go down, they're playing musical chairs again. You know what I mean? If wide receiver goes down, I think they'll be okay. Quarterback goes down, we're screwed. If you know what I mean? Like if you start looking at different positions, cornerback, if cornerback, God forbid, drops, we're done. Like, because already that's supposed to be the struggle position we have right now. We're done. So looking at it in the depth, do you go, man, are we cooking or are we not? Like at this point, you got to look at it and you go, man, the Giants still have a long way to go. You could get excited about the season with Speed. I'm going to get you excited. But
Please
I'm
do.
I'm
waiting.
I got you. You can get excited all you want about this season. But when you look at the roster in itself, you go, nah, this ain't it yet.
It's hard.
Yeah, we got Malik Neighbors. Yeah, we got running back by committee. Yeah, we got Brian Burns. Yeah, but is it enough? No. That is scary as hell to me because we can't stay healthy to save our lives in this league. We're probably the most injured team in the league, and they're all dropping like flies in preseason as well. So I'm scared. So I'm with Hef on this. And I was trying to talk Hef off the ledge a long time ago. But
and now you're on the ledge.
No, listen. And I'm just trying to give a side here and paint his picture for him. But looking at it, I agree with that. I definitely agree. You go, man, is Joe Schoen the guy? Or I'm not nervous. I'm not excited about this anymore. I could get why people are excited and it's like, yo, bro, this is crazy to me. I just don't feel comfortable about it. I really don't. You know what I mean? So I could get that, man. Let me ask you this though, Speed, because I think it's time to kind of cheer you up just a tad bit.
Please.
Okay?
Oh,
it's bad if you got to cheer up the glass half full. This is, not a good sign.
This is where we at. This is where we at. So I know everyone and their mom is kind of judging the Giants on preseason. The offense is so vanilla. The defense is literally only cover 2, cover 1, or man. It's no really disguising. You're just going out there and you're playing. And with that being said, I just want to say a couple things. In 2007, in preseason, and we're only going to stick to our team here, which is the New York Giants. The Giants was 1-3 in preseason. 1-3. Okay. 2007, they won the Super Bowl. Just want to say that.
I remember that.
Speed? I'm just saying, Speed. 2000 and and the New England Patriots was 2-2 in 2007. 2-2 in preseason, by the way. They won undefeated and lost to the Giants, by the way. Just want to let you know. 2000. Yeah. I just a little history. So get excited a little bit, Speed. Get excited. Preseason don't matter. Preseason don't matter. I'll give you another one, man. Another preseason stat here. The Giants in 2011 was 2-2.
Yeah.
Which was kind of how they went through that regular season.
Yeah, right. Just about.
But I mean, the guys who earned that, preseason record, for the most part,
were better.
But I mean, now like the cuts are so drastic. You go from 90 to 53 or something. What seems like overnight. Yeah. So the guys who you're trying to see if they're good or not may not even be in the NFL. Most of them won't be. Yeah. So it really doesn't.
I think the curse is that 17th game, but that's another topic for another.
It's going to be 18 soon.
What are they going to cut another preseason? Is that what they're saying? I don't know.
They're gonna do away with preseason. Period.
That's so stupid. But
I mean, just do joint practices and have a glorified.
That's what they're gonna do. That's exactly what's gonna happen.
I don't know. I don't like the direction of that.
They used to do a month of preseason games. It's just too much. Stop
These players, the players themselves. I don't know if you want to just take it with a grain of salt because they don't want to work, maybe kind of, but like they just say that there's no need for preseason. They don't get anything out of it. And
the stars,
if your starters are only playing a game, like,
you got a point. Then you know what? Training camp, I think, needs to be a little bit longer because now you're going to put the product on the field and it's still trying to work out.
That's what's going to be bad, right?
In week 3, you're still working out kinks. It's not as electric as you see it. You know what I mean? So
that's going to be the downfall of it.
And then
September is going to suck.
Yeah, I don't want to see that. You're going to see all these teams in the toilet. Like I'm good.
But you know what? It's okay though because you're talking about 32 teams. there are going to be teams that start red hot and we're better prepared. And those coaches are going to stick around if they do that year in and year out. So those games matter just the same. But with an 18-game season, you got time to iron things out. You just got to survive the first month if it's ugly. But I'm fine with it. More meaningful football for fans is ultimately better. If the millionaire players are upset, boo-hoo.
Right. And the pot at the end of the rainbow is Super Bowl Sunday is going to be on President's Day weekend, and that's balling. That's balling.
That's the cherry right there.
That's the cherry.
Yes.
Then make that happen. NFL Roger Goodell make that happen.
Sold.
Yeah, make that happen.
Eli sold.
Not a bad idea from TK here, and he said carry 65 players for the first 4 games. That's a really good idea.
Damn good idea.
That allows you to try guys.
Put them at the top of the NFL office.
The games matter, but at least you get to see more guys in action when it really counts. I don't know. There's something to that.
I agree. Sean. Pay for that. Hold on. Now, Speed, did I cheer you up just a tad bit with those little bit of stats there? Anything can happen.
Yes. I'm a little bit.
Anything can happen once the regular season starts. I'm just saying.
Here's what I keep selling myself on. I think we went through a gauntlet this summer. Like we played the Jets, Texans, and Lions. All 3 teams are going to be considered Super Bowl favorites, right? Like, is there one that you don't think is going to be deserved to be a Super Bowl talk? Like, no, I think they're all right there.
Jets,
they're
Texans, Lions, deep playoff teams. They
all of them. So my only, silver lining in all this is that they went through their gauntlet in the preseason, and they went against 3 of the teams that should have some of the best depth and top level players in the league. And now you walk into week 1, you should feel like it was the opposite last year, right? Like we beat up on the Panthers, and we're only for 1 drive, and we're like, oh, we're ready to go. We're gonna take off of last year, and and lo and behold, it was the backup on the Panthers, the terrible Panthers, the backups, and we thought we were the fucking cat's meow after that fucking thing. And then you walk into week 1 versus a Dallas Cowboys team that said the fuck you are good, and then they just stomped our dicks in. And so now we went through the first 3 weeks through a gauntlet of teams, right, in the preseason, and you walk into not a shitty team, but let's call a spade a spade. Minnesota's going to probably end up with a top 10 pick.
Yeah, they're not supposed to be a good team. They're
not a good team. They're coming into our building.
Neither are we by most standards, but
sure. But at least we can match up with somebody. So you should look at that opponent and like, okay, this is our level. We got to beat them. So I hope that's what's in my mind getting me through this.
You got to beat the shit out of them. You got to go out there and you got to win like convincingly, not by 3 points. I'm talking about like 2 touchdowns. Like this will get me like, oh shoot, we're real. If they go out there, beat Minnesota by 2 touchdowns, I'll go, Brian Daboll, you son of a bitch. You might have something.
I really hope that
you know what I mean? Because if you struggling and then you win by 3, I'm gonna be like, oh, it's a win, but damn, there's so many question marks. There's so many this, like we're all ripping each other heads off there in X-Land. Like, go out there and just fucking win, please. Give me a slaughter. Give me the 40-0 when Dallas did to you. Go out there and reminisce that game and go, you know what, man? We're going to go out there. We're going to hand it to them. And we're going to freaking score and score and score until we can't score no more. Like, I want that type of Giants to show up. I hope that type of Giants show up. I fucking hope.
I'll tell you this. There's not that many teams that you could say we have a better roster. We're the better team. We should win this game. This is absolutely one of those. Anytime I look at a quarterback in a new on a new team, and especially if it's a rookie, or a traveling quarterback like Sam Darnold is that hasn't found success. He's kind of been like another laughing stock, like the Jets ruined him, and then he's been moving around. Like that's not a dude that you should fear.
You got to
and they got Aaron Jones as running back. They have Justin Jefferson on the outside, and they don't have a lot. Addison's not playing, right?
No, he didn't practice yesterday. So
can you name one player? Can you name one player on their defense?
There's not a lot. They just cut their first round pick. They got some guys, but it's nothing. Nobody is special.
That's what I mean. I'm talking like once you're about to line up, and we have Brian Burns and Dex and Thibodeau and Okereke and McFadden. Is he playing? Is he going to be ready?
Yes, he's in.
All right, good. Oh, thank God. Once you're like lining up, you're about to go. It's go time. Like we should win that game.
Different time.
You know what I mean? And I got to see it. I got to be there. I got to see it.
Please, we're gonna be there.
Oh, we're gonna be,
We are
guys.
gonna be there.
I just want to let you know, Giants fans, we will be there week 1.
Oh yeah.
So
Hell
we're gonna know we're gonna post our lot where we're gonna be at, and we're gonna have a freaking great time. Come over, say what up to us. We're gonna be all over the freaking lot, just shaking hands,
What up, blood?
hugging, high-fiving y'all. So if you're going to week 1, we will be there. Don't forget, man, Underdog Fantasy, man, because we still have sponsors. We still got to pay the bills. Underdog Fantasy, if you download the app today, use promo code REVIVAL. They will match your deposit up to $250. So please, guys, we do have a Pick'em League going on right now. Hef, if you don't mind, take over. Let them know how the Pick'em League goes and go from there.
Dude, we've been having so much fun with these. And we got another push because this week I know the focus is going to be on like season-long drafts. I think a lot of them are happening this week. In the midst of that, as soon as that wave passes, I'm going right back to these best ball. Because they're quick, they're non-committal. You can do $10, and that's what we've been doing, like just fun $10 ones. But get in here with the action. Code REVIVAL. Message us after you sign up. We'll make sure we reserve a spot for you. But I mean, I think we got 4 of these drafts off the ground so far. So 48 people, right? Dude, we're having it's so fun. You do quick draft or slow draft. A quick draft, like you put your money in and then you get an alert that the draft is starting, and then 20 minutes later you're like, oh, I have a roster. Okay.
Yes.
But it's $10. Right. It's just fun. And if you're into fantasy football like that, then you got to do it.
This has been fun. And me and Jeff have been. I traded on and off of picks. We have so many teams. We don't know what to do with. But listen, we're gonna do a big money league. Or do we have? Yeah, we're gonna do a big money league. I think right before the season kicks off.
We gotta do one big one. Yeah.
Yeah, and we already have one special guy in our DM group, and we love this guy. Should I shout him out?
I think he's got a super chat here, doesn't he?
Yeah. Might as well. It's perfect timing, right?
Double dip.
He's already in our DM group. We're gonna be talking shit to him all season long. He has special access to us, and that's what everybody else can get if you join our big money league. Okay, so get in on this. We want to see new signups. Come on in. And let's answer his question while we're at it. Because the Giants need to have early success. We need to be 2-0. Yeah, it would be great to be 2-0, man. 2-0 buys you probably, and I said this earlier on in the show, it probably buys you the rest of the season, right? Because if you can get to like 6 wins, I think that you're safe. I think under 6 is where you get to danger territory for Dable. So if you start off with 2-0, it's so much easier to find 4 more wins throughout the rest of the season. If you start off 1-1 or 0-2, you're like, where the fuck are we going to find 5 more wins in the schedule? 6 more wins.
Not only that, right? you start to like plant that seed of like, we win games. We figure out how to win games in the end. Yeah, like he's saying, 5 sacks or something like that. You come out and you just get after this quarterback and make his life living hell, and you beat them like 31-10, like that kind of game. Then this team has confidence. Like that's goddamn. Like so many seasons have been ruined by losing close games in the first couple of weeks. Man. You're fucking completely buried at 0-2. The odds of you making the playoffs are absolute dog shit when you start 0-2. And I think it's more than just being 2 games behind the 8 ball. I think it's mentality in the locker room. You start to think about how you're going to lose in the fourth quarter instead of the opposite. So winning those first 2 games, absolutely fucking huge. I'm with you.
Just think how 2022 started off. We beat Tennessee, and I set the whole season off on the right path.
Absolutely, dude.
The confidence was through the roof. It felt like we couldn't lose those games.
Listen, and if you win a close game and it's like 3 points, like you better be balling. You better be out there trying your hardest. You better be out there 2-point conversions. Like you better really be out there doing your thing, because that also lifts the locker room. You know what I mean? But if you're playing sloppy football and you win by a field goal, you kind of lose that confidence a little bit. You go, man, like this was a close one. What did we do wrong? Let's go back to the drawing board. Let's figure this out. But if you're going in there, like you said, Spiel, and they winning like Tennessee and they going for it on 4th and they're converting, that's a confidence. That's playoff. Like you can start thinking, okay, this team can go into the playoffs. This team can make some noise. You get what I'm saying? So, but just imagine a 31-10. Hef, when's the last time we won a game 31-10?
1976. Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, I
roughly.
We wasn't born yet. You get what I'm saying? Like I'm trying to figure this out. You know what I mean? As far as like in a modern era right now of Giants football, I don't remember. Chat, get in there, please. Somebody help us out here. I really don't freaking remember. But I just want to say this, man, as we shout out to the 580 freaking people.
Oh,
Big shout out. Big shout out. Big
Damn.
shout out to all of them.
Shout out to the Revivalists. 580 is watching us right now. Please head on over to YouTube. Drop the comments in there because the comment section is always moving, going crazy, doing their thing. I want to have some fun with my brothers here for a second, man. I got this picture that we downloaded here. It is a picture of Malik Neighbors, my guy Hyatt, and my brother Wandale Robinson here. I'm going to play a game with you guys, man. You know how you kind of got to like name a group like an artist? Like, what are these groups going to be called? Let's go through let's bring this picture up. We're gonna do it live right now and in person, man. And chat, get in here.
They look cool.
Get in. This looks cool. If this was a group, you guys are A&R for a music label.
They do
what
look
would
like
be
a group.
They do look like a group, man. What would be the name of this group, guys? Get in the chat here. I'm gonna try this one. The name of this group is going to be the No QB3.
Oh. Yeah.
Oh, shit,
F, what you got?
Those are shots fired. Those are.
Give me a second. Wheels are turning.
Yeah, shit.
Time.
Oh my god.
I got more.
We got to come up with a name because they could be fierce.
They're
They could be fierce.
Spell Biv to throw the damn ball.
How about this one? Just running routes. Is that a good one there?
Oh,
No one to throw
shit!
them.
You're killing our.
No, I got some more.
Boy.
Yeah, I got some more.
Oh my
How about
God.
Mad at
boy.
DJ? That's terrible.
No.
That was a bad one. How about just Darius likes him? That's terrible too.
Yo, Darius is missing. About how does he feel?
You said you love Daniel Jones.
Yeah,
Not
He's a nice guy.
I might have said that drunk or something one day. My apologies. I might have been drunk.
It was actually earlier. It was earlier this show, I think.
It was? Jeez.
Because you said he's a nice guy. I'm like, you could be.
He's a nice guy. You just
I-
gotta play better. You just gotta play. Listen, he's the type of guy. If your daughter brings him home, you go, "What a nice
You go,
fella!
oh, phew.
What a nice fella!
Yeah.
Have her back by 12, Daniel.
Yeah.
He'll bring her back by 11:59. Like he's that type of guy. You know what I mean?
I want
Nice
to. Yeah.
guy.
If your
I
daughter,
wanna
if your daughter brings home Malik Neighbors, you're like, no crap.
No.
Yeah. She's
No.
done. She's done.
Put the Apple tracker on right now, sweetheart.
We want you
Put
home
it
by
on.
10.
I need you by 10. Matter of
Yes.
fact, 8 o'clock.
No.
Yeah, the date's not
You know what?
And if
that
you ain't
8:01.
here,
Even better, I'm gonna come with you guys.
yeah. And if you're not here by 10, we in the car and we're gonna
Yeah.
yes.
Yo, shout out to Steven, man. High Leakdale. I like that one. That's a High Leakdale.
Wu Tangled
Up.
Wu Tangled Up. That's fire. Shout out Caesar on that one.
Can I
man.
tease a little something for next week?
Yeah,
We
please.
are going to play a game. We're going to go around the horn. We're going to pick our division winners from
Yes.
each division. We're going to put something serious on the line. Okay. So next week,
Oh.
we're going to go through this. We're each going to pick our division winners, conference by conference, division
It's gonna
by
be tough.
division.
It's gonna be
And we're going
tough.
to see whoever gets the most correct at the end of the year. There's going to be something big on the line.
You know what? We didn't go through it, but we're gonna definitely do something great for you guys as far as like the winner. I think us three, we gotta figure that one out. Gotta be something dope. Gotta be something really, really dope.
And
I
we'll
don't know
keep
what
you
it
all
is.
posted for next week because we may not have our regular Tuesday program. We may be getting together live on location,
Please.
the three of us together. And it's
Oh,
gonna
hey,
be
listen.
Wednesday night,
And-
probably.
And C's said if the Giants wins challenge come back, I think I got something cooking here. I think we got some. The wheels are turning.
Yo, we
It's
gotta
gonna
be.
we're gonna unravel something next
It's time.
week.
It's time.
Yeah, I think we're gonna start.
You know
getting
what?
it back 'cause
Let's do it this season. Hear me out, guys. And this is just on
we
the
were
fly.
good, but last time we ran.
I
back.
want to challenge people right now. And here's the names I'm going to challenge. Not only the people from last year, which is Ransom, Lawrence Tynes, LPG. I'm going to challenge Tiki Barber.
Yeah.
I'm going to challenge
Let's
you,
go.
K. Adams. If the Giants win, what are you going to do? I'm going to challenge Plaxico Burress. I'm going to challenge
What?
Armani Toomer. I'm going to challenge David Deal. I'm gonna challenge O.C. Umenyiora. I'm gonna challenge Madeline Burke. I'm challenging everybody. If the Giants win challenge, let's come on the show. We either do something for charity, or you guys give something away, or you guys just do something crazy. Yes. Come join us this season. If the Giants win challenge, and no, it just doesn't stop there. I see Authentic in the chat. If the Giants win, what are you going to do? Richard Judge, what are you going to do? All the guys seize the moment. What are you going to do? Kelly Fisher, what are you going to do if the Giants win? What are you guys going to do if the Giants win? Bill Hartnett, you did not escape from us here, brother. What are you going to do? Everybody in the chat, Caitlin, all the revivalists, what are you going to do if the Giants win? I'm challenging all you guys. So we're going to bring this back this season. If the Giants win challenge, we'll do something great for you guys. It's going to
Those were the best times. That 2022 season when we were really cooking with.
You ran out of
Giants
ideas.
Win. That's when we were.
Because we legit we expected a 4-win season at most, and we go 7-1. And we're doing just ridiculous shit. I went into Lowe's as Chef A and filmed a whole goddamn thing because I just didn't think they would. I think it's when they beat the Ravens. I'm like, all right, I'm safe this week. Let me do something wild.
Yeah,
they just kept fucking winning, dude. Like,
I think we can't tell them what the last one was gonna be when they did win the playoffs because we might have to use that again. We might have to use that again.
I drank 21 beers right off the bat. I just put it all on the line. And
Speed was like, "This is number 11, Phil Sims."
I think
I remember 17 was when I really
17 was my favorite. 17 was my favorite because he went to lean on a wall that wasn't there, and that's when you know you're in a good place. He's like, "Well, number 17, everyone. This one's not so."
Yeah. Like, shout out to Burris Warren, I think.
Dave Brown.
Hey, listen, real quick before we get out of here, I want one position that you think, because Shane has gotten the past couple of years, we've gotten a couple starters through these waiver wires. This is like the cut day was fine. That's one thing. Waiver wire day is a whole different beast now going forward. Yes. Who's your guy? Eli, what position? I'll just give you a vague one. What position do you want it added to? Pick one for tomorrow.
I'm doing cornerbacks, man. What is it, Caleb Farley, right? I mean, this guy could be up, right? Familiar with Bowen, man. He could cost a little bit on the cheap side. So it's a guy that you could bring in, hopefully, to give you some depth, or maybe that can help out over there in the cornerback. Yeah. So it's just kind of an insurance policy to shore up that position there. So I think that's a good name to go after for a good price there.
Okay. I'll give you some downsides to Farley. $2.5 million is what he's going to cost, which is a little bit. It's a lot because.
But is it a lot, Speed, when you looking for that position to shore up? Because the cornerback,
if he's healthy, no, I'd say no. The 2.5 would be great if he's healthy.
It's not bad.
But he's never healthy. That's the problem. He's been banged up.
He's going to come in for certain packages. I mean, he's not going to be there running around unless he proves that he's healthy enough. You know what I mean? But he's going to come in in certain packages, give these guys a little bit of a rest. So I'll take the chance. I'll take the chance.
But I'll let you know this. CB is plentiful, and it's one of the biggest. There are bigger names there to be had. So I think that's a good pick by you. That group. Jeff, what do you think?
I think there might be a sneaky receiver that they bring in because they seem to thin out that room pretty good. And then Isaiah McKenzie out for the year, right?
Right.
That was a for the year designation. Right Hodgins gone, and Hodgins is a depth guy that knows the system inside and out. You let go of him too, so I feel like they might make a little splash there. Stay tuned.
I like it. I'm gonna. I really think, and I hate to not pick someone different, but I think cornerback's the way. I think cornerback's the way to go. There's a lot of nice names out there. Desmond King from Houston. Nick Needham for the Dolphins was apparently having a great camp. And I look at these when a guy gets cut, and I look at the comments underneath, and I see the reactions from the fans themselves. And when the Dolphins fans saw it, they were like flabbergasted. They were pissed off about it. That's a guy that it's a position of need. I want him. Greg Stroman from the Bears is another one to keep an eye on. It's got to be cornerback, man, because it's just, I mean, unless you're hinging your season on Deonte Banks being a certified CB1, we're in fucking trouble there, bro. We're in trouble.
Yeah,
we are in
bro.
trouble.
I didn't want to
We
say the
need
same
help.
answer as everyone else.
I know.
I mean, they got it.
That's
they
the
got it.
scariest.
But again, it's another back to the Joe Shane conversation. If you're scouring for potential contributors, it's a very bad sign. If you're, and we have a ton of young guys in that secondary. And you had a veteran in was it
Herndon?
Herndon?
Yeah.
So
yeah.
But
so
listen,
bring in?
another backup center maybe is another low key thing that the guy Stromberg got cut from Washington.
Yeah.
A guy that I like. Watch
God.
out for backup center. We just cut one of our backups. Maybe that's the spot. But it's gonna be a fun next couple of days because the Giants have the 6th spot in the waiver wire right off the bat. So they're gonna get a high pick at one of these guys on the list. So I'll be very interested to see who they put the waiver claim in for. And hey, then the Bullets are flying live, bro. They're flying live next week, and that's the team we're messing around with going forward. So let's go. I'm ready.
And shout out to the 622 people in the building that just keeps going up. We
bro.
thank you so much for the support. Let me say this, man, because shout out to R0B, man. He said if the Giants win speed, that's a good challenge. I'm going to add a little bit to it. He said you got to trim the beard and get the lineup, but I want you to get a fade too, man. What up? Come to the barber with me.
Hey.
Lace you up with the fade and the beard. You get what I'm saying?
Don't tell me what a good time.
Just
I'm
saying,
in.
bro. That's good if the Giants win. I'm saying get your fade
I'm
on.
in.
You know what I mean?
There's
fire
another
right
one
there.
here that's worth discussing here.
Hey.
Ooh.
That's a good one. That's a good
In
one.
any game.
Any game.
That's
any way, right? Not just the offense.
he's going that's a huge one. I like it.
I mean, because
I
we
like
rarely
it.
sniff 30, so this is I feel like it's an appropriate level
Jeez.
to set the bar at.
I
40,
like where your head's at there.
40
I
seems
like that.
unmatchable.
See, I like where you're at, man. I like that.
That's
I
true.
like
I brought
that a
this up
lot.
today too. Any interest in Nick Gates? I mean, I always he was a nasty
like
player.
him.
I don't know what he's got left. I haven't really watched him in 2+ years.
He's gotten cut a lot recently.
He's-
that's all I know.
No, I asked Authentic. But what does Authentic think as far as treading the tires? I mean, at this point, he's a familiar face, right? He was, I won't say solid, but he could be a good center.
He's
coming
a
in
good
that
center
backup
/ guard
Yeah.
option, right? Like he can play
why
a
not?
couple spots. Why not?
But we love versatile guys that have
We
no
love our
actual
versatility.
position. Sorry. On that note,
like that.
go
I like
Giants.
one last little jab over
Now,
there. I
let-
like it.
I like that, F. But guys, shout out to everybody, man, who came in, watched us today, man. We do appreciate you guys. We appreciate all the support, man. Yes, man. Next week, man, if something, we're working this out, man. But I think we're gonna
working.
have a nice show here with R0B on Tuesday. We're hoping to stop by his show. He got something to announce, a nice graphic and etc. We're not gonna give it away. Just look it out on Xland when we retweet it, or whatever the case is. But I think it's gonna be something cool for you guys. I think it's gonna honor a fallen, and it's gonna be pretty dope, man, to continue that series there. So shout out to R0B, man. We'll definitely see you on Tuesday, and we'll go from there. But yeah, man. On behalf of my brothers, man, you guys know who they are, and that's Mr. Glass Half Full of Nets. Speed. Should I say if you nasty? Because I heard somebody say
Just
you nasty.
say
and
it.
I'm like,
Just say it. It feels better. It feels
Speed
better,
if
right?
you nasty.
and my brother El Jefe, aka White Jersey, aka Blue Jersey. I gotta say this. Put it down, flip it, and reverse it. Huh? Hot Tua.
Not Tua, am I right?
Hot Tua. Am I right? He said, what did you
Go.
just say? Nothing.
Nothing.
No,
Never
no,
mind.
Nothing. Never mind. Joe Shane in the building, and shout out to you, the Revivalist, man, and the 633 people. My gosh.
Love you guys.
We love you guys, man. Thank you so much. Head on over to Twitter, hit that thumbs up, hit that subscribe. We do appreciate all the support. This is your boy Eli Rax, aka Vibes. To see you guys on the next one. Peace and blessings.
New York Revival, I'm in the building.
Let's go.
Live with the Woodlard Roar!
Let's go.